boy, you bluffing.
I know your type. I know your background. I know your life. Stay out my sight. It's smash on sight. Fuck who don't like. I don't know no price. Bitch, I just
cop it, get it,
take it, flip it. All these niggas got a problem with me, but ain't nobody gonna do shit to me. I just did a show, got paid in all hundreds. Everybody rap, but who getting rap money? Son, so everybody trap, we got yams for 100. YBS delivery, tell me where you want it, but we ain't coming out for nothing less than 100 grams. What these rappers know about that? You ain't no dope boy, all you do is jack. I ain't got rub, cause I keep a big pack. I'm the one who gon' shoot the nigga trying jack. I'm the one who drop mixtapes back to back. Got the city back buzzing, y'all should thank me for that. Bird flu playing everywhere across the map. DJ play bird flu, crowd getting
Alright. I know a video, recipe to Lord Score, baby. Got a video on Amazon. Warehouse manager gets arrested after running a $9.4 million fraud scheme. Gosh, lady was getting busy. When I seen this title, I thought I was like, alright, so employees at a job are the biggest like thieves and criminals at a company. That's kind of just normal. Like we take the most amount of money from the company. Like we steal the most amount of money, the most profits from a company. Like, think about it. But I'm gonna put it like this. When I was at McDonald's, we not supposed to like take only thing we was allowed to get is like a free meal, and then you can get a bath, like any bath for free for real. But you couldn't get milkshakes, you couldn't get what's those other like frappes and stuff like that. You have to pay for those. The company's not gonna pay for those for you. But I was getting one like almost every shift, you feel me? I would finesse my way. I would ask like a manager that was like a newer manager. No, newer manager. They don't really care too much. But older managers did like, nah, not happening. So I would like finesse my way and get me like a Oreo McFlurry almost every single shift, bro. And I mean, if like, say if, alright, it's cool if I do it, that's not that much money. Technically it really is, because it's still their profit, you feel what I'm saying? But if 100 employees do that same thing, they are losing a lot of bread, bro. Not no $9.4 million fraud scheme, but that's still that money at the end of the day. But I want to see what this talking about, because what the freak happened? $9.4 million is crazy, shorty. You finna be booked for $1 million. This is your sister. Let's go ahead and see what this reaction talking about, though, bro.
Miss Wortham, step away from the workstation.
Who? What? I'm in the
We know about the fake vendors.
What vendors? Can someone tell me what's happening?
This is Rika Wortham. To her colleagues, she was a dedicated, honest Amazon operations manager.
Right.
To investigators,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. What is this name, bro? What is this name? Rika. Rika. I feel like it's probably supposed to be pronounced Carissa.
he was the calculated mastermind behind a $9.4 million
what a name by your child, Rika. Oh, come on now.
Fraud scheme.
You need to come with us right now.
Come with you where? I'm at work. I haven't done anything. You can't just, what are you even talking about?
Within 72 hours, federal agents would seize bank records from 17 different accounts, subpoena transaction histories from 3 luxury car dealerships, and freeze assets totaling $2.8 federal agents would
done anything. You can't just, what are you even talking about?
Within 72 hours, federal agents would seize bank records from 17 different accounts, subpoena transaction histories from 3 luxury car dealerships, and freeze assets totaling $2.7 million, including the $900,000 home she had purchased just 14 months earlier. The Secret Service had been watching for
lady, you're kind of slow. The Secret Service have been watching. I'm not no criminal, but if you're working as a manager at Amazon, it's kind of 1 + 1 = 2. You don't have that amount of money for real. It's not common for those people that work those type of jobs to be like purchasing a $9 million home, bro. Car dealership, what was that, like 27 million? Like what are we doing, bro? Noggin. Use it. You could have freaking ChatGPT that. Just looked it up.
They had the invoices, the shell companies, and the subordinates who had unknowingly entered every fake vendor into the system at her direction.
And why you using some big words?
They finally had
barely
Rika
graduated.
Wortham, a 32-year-old Amazon operations manager who had stolen $9.4 million from one of the largest companies on earth and spent it on Lamborghinis and Teslas parked in her suburban driveway. Before we continue, how many people at your job can approve a payment without a second signature?
How much y'all trying to bet? It was a man involved.
Think about it. Let us know in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, Do
She don't even
so
look like she
now.
on a game like that. Like, I don't know.
Kayrika Monet Wortham was born in the summer of 1991 in East Point, Georgia, a working-class suburb just south of Atlanta, where the runways of Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport shake the windows of every house within 5 miles. Her father, Roosevelt, worked as a cargo handler for Delta Airlines for 23 years, loading and unloading luggage in the sweltering Georgia heat, coming home with aching shoulders and grease under his fingernails. Her mother, Janelle, was an administrative assistant at a medical billing company in College Park, processing insurance claims for doctors who never learned her name. They raised Kayrika and her younger brother, Deshaun, in a 3-bedroom ranch house on a cul-de-sac where the neighbors knew each other's names, and the block parties ran until midnight on the 4th of July. Money was always tight, but never desperate. Roosevelt picked up overtime shifts during the holidays. Janelle clipped coupons and kept a garden in the backyard. They paid their bills on time, drove used cars until the engines gave out, and put a little away each month for the kids' college funds. It wasn't glamorous, but it was stable. And Kayrika noticed stability. She noticed how her parents tracked every expense, how they balanced the checkbook at the kitchen table every Sunday evening, how they never carried credit card debt. She was learning without knowing she was learning. Kayrika was a
Yeah,
sharp
I did.
kid. Her 3rd grade teacher at Conley
really
Hills
is how it is when
Elementary
you were
wrote
showed
in
it
a
to you.
progress report that she showed
Growing up.
unusual attention to detail and asks more questions than most students twice her age. By middle
I can't tell, like,
school,
I don't
she
know
was
if that's a high
organizing the
school
family's bill
or
payments,
university.
color-coded in a binder she kept on the kitchen counter. She created spreadsheets before she knew what spreadsheets were.
not that it matters. Like,
Handwritten
anything,
grids
like,
tracking due
curious.
dates, amounts, and confirmation numbers. Her mother used to joke that Kayrika would grow up to be an accountant or a CEO. She was half right. She graduated from Tri-Cities High School in 2009, the same school that produced Ludacris and 2 Chainz,
I was in elementary
and
school.
enrolled at Georgia State University that fall. She majored in supply chain management, a field that was exploding in Atlanta
Supply
as the city
chain
transformed
management.
into a logistics hub for the entire Southeast.
Oh,
She worked
dang.
part-time.
You need a major to work at Amazon? It's like a manager? That's
At a
tough.
Target distribution center in
I did
McDonough
not know
during
that.
her junior and senior years, learning the rhythms of warehouse operations from the ground up. She graduated in May 2013 with a 3.4 GPA and a clear-eyed understanding of how products move from point A to point B. Her first full-time job was as an inventory coordinator at a third-party logistics company in Forest Park. The pay was $14.50 an hour. She worked there for 2 years, earned a promotion to shift supervisor, and began applying to larger companies. In January 2016, she interviewed at Amazon. The company was expanding its Georgia footprint at an unprecedented rate, building fulfillment centers across the metro area, hiring thousands of workers, and promising career advancement to anyone willing to grind. Kayrika was willing. She started as an area manager at the DAT-1 Fulfillment Center in Smyrna, Georgia, in March 2016. Starting salary, $52,000 plus stock options. Her first performance review described her as highly organized,
What is like?
solutions-oriented.
How does that work when they say plus stock options? Like, do they give you like a share, I guess, so to speak? Like, how many shares do they give you? I mean, because personally, you cut my check down and give me some more shares. If it's Amazon, you know, give me like 3 shares. It's 30. You don't gotta pay me a dime.
And a natural leader who
Send me
commands
like,
respect
it would send
from
me like
hourly
6,000 a
associates.
month when we 30.
Within
Rest of that
18 months,
52
she was
what it is.
promoted to operations manager,
Okay,
a
and the
role
rest,
that
give me
came
like
with a
6.
salary bump to $78,000, a team of 40 direct reports, and something far more valuable.
That's bad math, by the way.
Authority.
I ain't gonna lie. I just thought about that.
As an operations manager, Kayrika Wortham had the power to approve new vendors in Amazon's payment system. She could authorize invoices for goods and services without requiring a second signature. She could direct wire transfers to bank accounts she had personally verified. In a company processing billions of dollars in vendor payments every month, she was one of hundreds of managers with this authority. no single person could monitor them all. She understood exactly what that meant. To understand how Kayrika Wortham stole $9.4 million, you first have to understand how Amazon's vendor payment system works and where its blind spots are. Amazon's fulfillment network in Georgia alone spans more than 40 facilities. The DAT-1 Center in Smyrna, where Wortham worked, is a 600,000 square foot sortation center that processes hundreds of thousands of packages every day.
Sheesh.
It employs over 1,500 workers across 3 shifts. It contracts with dozens of third-party
Freaking across 3 shifts for 100,000 packages a day. The heck? Okay.
vendors for everything from cleaning supplies to equipment maintenance to security services to temporary staffing. The vendor ecosystem is massive. Millions of dollars flow through
Amazon,
it
one of the
every
worst
month.
places to work.
And the system that manages those payments was
They
built
pay
for
alright.
speed, not scrutiny.
They pay a little bit better.
When a vendor wants to do business with Amazon, they submit their information through an internal portal. Company name, tax ID, bank account details, contact information. A manager reviews the submission, verifies the vendor's business credentials, and approves them in the system. Once approved, the vendor can submit invoices for goods and services. When an invoice comes in, a manager reviews it, confirms the goods or services were delivered, and authorizes payment. Amazon's accounting system then wires the funds to the bank account on file. The vulnerability is obvious. If the same person who approves vendors also approves invoices, there is no independent check. And if that person creates a fake vendor, submits a fake invoice, and approves both, the money goes out the door. There is no
ain't gonna lie, my brain, I'm a little slow, bro. You got, I gotta rewatch this back.
and
Like I said, I barely graduated.
authorizes payment. Amazon's accounting system then wires the funds to the bank account.
Amazon's accounting system then wires the fund to the bank account, aka Amazon's accounting system just sends the money to the bank account on file. All right, bad.
File. The vulnerability is obvious.
Okay.
If the same person who
The vulnerability is obvious because the Amazon accounting system sends the money to the bank account on file. Brain. Ain't gonna lie. Hold up, it's still loading. Amazon's accounting system wires the funds. Amazon's accounting system sends the money to the bank account on file. Okay, where's the vulnerability? Where's the vulnerability? Blah, 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 blah. Dang. Where's the vulnerability? Vulnerability.
approves vendors also approves invoices, there is
Vulnerability.
no independent check. And if that person creates a fake vendor, submits a fake invoice, and approves both, the money goes out the door. There is no human being.
If they what?
And if that person creates a fake vendor,
Creates a fake vendor. Okay, that's pretty
submits
easy.
a fake invoice,
An invoice is like a freaking check, basically.
and approves both, the money goes out the door. There is no human being verifying
What do you
that
mean
the
the money goes out the door, though? If they create a fake vendor and a fake invoice, like, how the heck does she get the money then? I don't, what? Because you would still have to send it to a bank account, right?
vendor actually exists.
Well, I guess, okay, she would make
There is
her
no
own,
site visit.
her own vendor
There is
account.
no
Okay,
phone
okay,
call.
okay,
The system assumes that managers are honest.
I'm a little smart now.
Amazon's internal
She
controls
would create her
are
own
designed
little
to
vendor,
catch
her little
patterns,
own like vendor
unusual
account.
spikes
The money
in
will go to
vendor
that one.
payments, statistical anomalies, duplicate invoices, round dollar amounts that suggested fabrication. But they were not designed to catch a manager who understood exactly how the system flagged suspicious activity, and who was careful to stay just below.
It was crazy though. Like, the thing is, Amazon would pay you to fix that, like, that flaw in their system, bro. They might not pay you a lot more, but you could sell that information to other companies and stuff like that, bro. I don't know. You gotta think for real. You gotta use your brain for it. The bad money ain't good money, bro, for a reason. That scam and stuff, bro. Don't even get into that, bro.
Threshold. Kayrika Wortham had been studying those thresholds since the day she was promoted.
They would
The
definitely
first fraudulent
appreciate you
invoice was submitted on August
if you help
14,
them
2020.
save more money.
It was for $8,400,
like you,
payable
for
to a
real.
company called
You make a lot
Horizon
more money,
Logistics
bro.
Solutions, LLC, for temporary staffing services. The invoice included a detailed breakdown of hours
Ideas
worked,
cost a lot, man.
employee names, and a tax ID number. It looked legitimate. The bank account on file was a business checking account at a regional credit union in Marietta. Horizon Logistics Solutions, LLC, did not exist. The names on the invoice were fabricated. The bank account belonged to Brittany Hudson, Kayrika Wortham's girlfriend. Wortham had instructed one of her subordinates, an associate named Terrell, who had no idea what he was approving, to input Horizon's vendor information into Amazon's system. Once Terrell entered it, Wortham approved the vendor herself.
You know, I got pee,
Then
bro.
she
Hold on, I'll be
submitted the
right
invoice.
back. You heard it.
Then
Mama
she
had the
approved
earphones in.
the
Let me
invoice.
steady.
8 days later, Amazon wired $8,400 to Brittany Hudson's account. That was the test run. Over the next 19 months, Wortham would create at least 14 fake vendor accounts. She submitted more than $10 million in fictitious invoices. Amazon paid out approximately $9.4 million before the scheme collapsed. The method was always the same. She would invent a company name, often something that sounded vaguely industrial, like Metro Supply Partners or Southeast Maintenance Group. She would generate fake tax documents using templates she found online. She would open a bank account in the company's name, or she would use an account controlled by one of her co-conspirators. Then she would ask a subordinate to input the vendor information, and she would approve it. The invoices ranged from a few $1,000s to as much as $75,000. She was careful never to submit the same amount twice. She varied the timing. She spread payments across multiple accounts. She understood that Amazon's fraud detection algorithms looked for patterns, so she made sure there were no patterns to find. She recruited help. Brittany Hudson was the first co-conspirator. Hudson owned a legitimate business, Legend Express, LLC, that contracted with Amazon to deliver packages. She had her own relationship with the company, her own access to the vendor portal, her own bank accounts. She became the primary recipient of fraudulent payments
Bad though.
and Wortham's partner in spending them. Then there was Demetrius Hines. Hines worked in loss prevention at the Smyrna warehouse. His job was literally to prevent theft. Instead, he helped facilitate it. He provided stolen social security numbers that Wortham used to create fake vendor accounts.
But I would think, like, if your job is to prevent theft, I feel like if I'm working that position, right, wouldn't I be the first person that they come to, because like this is your job to monitor this and this is your job to like make sure that this doesn't happen, and you're most likely to know the ins and outs and how to weave through these little holes. I feel like you would be the first one to get investigated, bro. I don't think, bro.
He purchased the numbers from a man
Just
named
don't do it,
Jaquan
bro.
Frazier, who purchased them from a man named Daryl
Money
Berger.
ain't that deep, bro. You don't
The
need it
identity
for real.
theft added
You
federal
need it, but
charges
you
to
don't,
everyone's
like, it ain't
eventual
everything,
indictment.
bro. It's not everything.
Laketia Blanchard was a senior HR assistant at Amazon.
We all can make it, bro.
She gave Wortham the
It ain't
names and
that
social
crazy.
security numbers of her own relatives to use for fake
Put a
vendors.
few years in, keep your
Her
feet on the
family
ground,
members had
foot
no
on the
idea
gas.
their identities
Don't
were
let up.
being used to steal
Keep going.
millions.
You want to make it eventually.
And finally, there was Jamar
so
James
much
Sr.,
information out here on how to
another
make it, bro. You
operations
don't gotta make it
manager
the
at
dirty
Amazon's facility in Duluth, Georgia.
way.
James
You
had
gonna-
the
you gonna
same
feel a
approval
lot more better in
authority
your
as
spirit,
Wortham.
bro. Like,
When she brought him into the scheme in late 2021, the operation doubled its capacity. James continued approving fake invoices even after Wortham left the company in March 2022. The money disappeared fast. In December 2020, Wortham and Hudson purchased a 4,200 square foot home in Smyrna for $918,000.
what's the time
They paid
they've been
cash.
doing this for?
The real estate agent later told investigators she had never seen buyers under 35 pay cash for a home that size. She assumed they had family money. She did not ask questions. In January 2021, Wortham bought a 2019
Isn't it
Lamborghini-
possible for like the middleman, not the middleman, but you know how she sold the home, right? Isn't it possible for the person that sold the home to get in trouble? Like when it's like say if a jeweler, say if like I steal I wouldn't do that. But say if I stole jewelry from a jewelry store or some high value jewelry from a rapper or something, right? Say if I stole it, right, and then I bring it to a mall and sell them this jewelry, wouldn't the person that I sold the jewelry to, isn't it possible for them to get in some legal trouble as well?
For $247,000. She drove it to work
it's
and parked it in the
I got all this
employee
jewelry.
lot,
I'm
next to the Hondas and Toyotas her
sweatsuit
subordinates
on.
drove.
I got a sightseeing
In
on my
March,
head.
a 2022
You gonna
Tesla
buy this
Model
jewelry
X.
from me? That's
In
not
June,
really cool.
a 2018
You ain't gonna call the
Porsche
cops.
Panamera. By the end of the year, the driveway of their new home looked like a luxury car dealership. The neighbors whispered. No one said anything directly. Demetrius Hines
it looked
was
like a
spending
luxury
too.
car
He
dealership.
bought a 2021 Ford F-150 Black Widow Edition, a 2013 Ford Shelby Mustang, a Rolex Day-Date watch, a diamond bracelet, and a diamond necklace. He was making $65,000 a year in loss prevention. His lifestyle suggested otherwise. When colleagues asked how he afforded the watch, he said he had a side business flipping cars. No one checked. The spending was reckless. The confidence was absolute. They had stolen nearly $10 million from one of the most sophisticated
That's what I was saying, bro. It's kind of obvious, bro. You gotta think, like, people know the type of job that you have. When they come knocking on your door, they've been there, done that before with dozens of people, bro. They study for this. They went to school for it and all that, you feel me? Like, they know how to spot your lies, bro. Gotta be careful with that. Or just don't do it at all.
In the world, and no one had noticed. Every month that passed without consequences made them bolder. Every invoice that cleared made them feel invincible.
I know some people
Not
probably
one of
like,
them
man,
considered
over
what
Amazon.
would
Amazon
happen
makes so
when the
much
money
money, man. They don't need that money, man. Why
In
they
early
care about that?
2022,
They make so
an
much money,
internal
man. This ain't gonna
auditor
hurt.
at
That little
Amazon
$9 million ain't
noticed
gonna hurt
something
Amazon,
unusual.
man. Are you
A
crazy?
vendor called Premier Facility
my money, man.
Services
You gonna take
had
my
submitted
money?
17
Because I make
invoices
a lot more.
over a 6-month
You need some
period,
money? Okay, I'll
totaling
work for that money. Okay, if it's
$412,000.
300 trillion.
The
touch my freaking
invoices
money.
were for janitorial services at the
You wanna
Smyrna
steal from
facility.
me? The heck, after I
But
gave
when
you a
the auditor
job? You
cross-referenced
crazy?
the payments against the facility's actual cleaning contracts, Premier Facility Services didn't appear anywhere. There was no record of them ever providing services. There was no contract. There was no point of contact. The auditor flagged the account. Then she ran a broader search. What she found was a pattern that should have been invisible, but wasn't. Multiple vendors with no delivery history. Bank accounts with routing numbers that traced back to the same credit union in Marietta. Approval timestamps that showed the same manager authorizing both vendor creation and invoice payment
I like that Tesla
over
right there, man.
and over again. The name on every
Certified
approval
doors.
was
Pretty cool
Kayrika
looking.
Wortham. Amazon contacted the U.S. Secret Service. The Secret Service's Atlanta field office opened a formal investigation in April 2022. They subpoenaed bank records, pulled wire transfer histories, and began mapping the network of accounts that had received fraudulent payments. The trail led to Wortham, Hudson, Hines, Blanchard, Frazier, Burgo, and James. 7 people, $9.4 million, 19 months of theft hidden in plain sight. By the time investigators had assembled the full picture, Wortham had already left Amazon. She resigned in March 2022, telling colleagues she was pursuing other opportunities. She did not know that her departure had triggered a comprehensive audit of every vendor she had ever approved. Stories like this don't get the attention
When
they
he says
deserve.
every vendor, does it mean
If
like
you want to
fake-
see
the
more
fake ones, or what
accountability
you mean?
content, subscribe and hit the notification bell. We cover cases mainstream media ignores. The Secret Service executed search
I gotta
warrants in
increase my
September
vocabulary, bro.
2022.
I hate
At Wortham and Hudson's
words. Like I
home in
said, know the
Smyrna,
definition of a
agents
freaking audit,
seized
bro.
laptops, cell phones, financial records, and the keys to 4 luxury vehicles parked in the garage. They found spreadsheets documenting invoice submissions. They found text messages coordinating payments. They found bank statements showing deposits that matched, to the penny, the amounts Amazon had wired to fake vendors. The evidence was overwhelming. Investigators recovered communications between Wortham and Hudson that laid out the entire operation. Brittany, March 14th, 2021. Just hit, check the account. Kayrika. How much this time? Brittany. 47,000. We good. Kayrika. already looking at that Porsche. There were similar messages between Wortham and Hines, between Hines and Frazier, between
Bragging
Hudson
about my
and James.
$47,000.
The co-conspirators
I
had
gave you 52
communicated
salary.
openly, apparently confident that no one was watching.
Brag about my money like that.
The smoking gun was the bank routing numbers. Every fake vendor that Wortham had created used a bank account that could be traced directly to her,
47 years,
Hudson,
you know what I mean?
or one of the other
A
defendants.
year for every 1,000.
The money flowed from Amazon's corporate accounts to shell companies, to personal accounts, to car dealerships and real estate agents.
Yeah, that's dumb, bro.
There was
Like,
no ambiguity. There was no plausible alternative explanation.
Just screaming,
On
come
September
arrest me. Why would you steal somebody's money and then put it on a bank account? It's trackable, bro. All that's trackable.
22nd, 2022, federal agents arrested Kyrika Wortham at her home. Brittany Hudson was arrested the same day. Demetrius Hines was taken into custody at the Smyrna warehouse, in the loss prevention office, where he had spent years supposedly protecting the company from theft. The arrest happened on a Wednesday morning. Wortham was in the kitchen of her Smyrna home, still in pajamas, when she heard the knock. She opened the door, expecting a package delivery. Instead, she found 4 federal agents in tactical vests,
Boy, my hoe
badges
drop.
displayed, hands resting on
And I'm
holstered
clean.
weapons. Kyrika Wortham? Yes. Can I help you? United States Secret Service.
Passed out.
You're under arrest for conspiracy to
Huh?
commit wire fraud. Turn around and place your hands behind your back.
Say what?
She didn't move. Her eyes went to the Lamborghini in the driveway, then back to the agents. Wait. There has to be a mistake. There's no mistake, ma'am. We have warrants for your arrest and for the search of this residence. Turn around. Please, just
Taking all that.
let me explain. I can explain everything. Ma'am, we're past
what?
explanations. Turn around now.
Yeah.
Her voice cracked. I was going to pay it back. I just needed more time. Please, I have family. The agent stepped forward.
You finna pay it back now?
Turn around and place your hands behind your back. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and
Steal
will
money
be
from my
used
Amazon,
against you
bro. You
in
know
a
how
court
often I
of
use
law.
Amazon? You wanna steal money from my people?
The cuffs clicked shut.
Hey, you wanna steal money from
Kyrika
my Amazon,
Wortham,
bro?
operations manager,
You know how
homeowner,
many shares of
Lamborghini
Amazon I got,
driver,
bro? You wanna
was
steal money
walked
from
out
my
her own
Amazon,
front
man?
door in handcuffs, past the Tesla in the driveway, past the neighbors watching from their porches, and into the back of a federal vehicle. She would not return to that house as a free woman. On November 30th,
Wonder how much
2022,
time she got.
Kyrika Wortham pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. The prosecution presented evidence of 247 fraudulent invoices submitted over 19 months. They documented $9,469,731.45 in stolen funds. They traced payments to 14 shell companies, 17 bank accounts.
Dang, bro. I need to get my weight up more, bro. Her arm's bigger than mine. Look how I'm working, bro. Her arm's bigger than mine. I'm 153. Her joint, like, she got, like, more meat than muscle, but, like, still. My whole, you feel me? You see a whole, like,
5 luxury vehicles.
Dang.
They submitted testimony from Amazon employees who had unknowingly processed the fake vendors at Wortham's direction. The defense offered little in mitigation. Wortham's attorney, Preston Albright, argued that his client had no prior criminal history and had cooperated with investigators after her arrest. He requested a sentence at the lower end of the federal guidelines. Chief U.S. District Judge Timothy C. Batten Sr. was not persuaded. Ms. Wortham, Judge Batten said at sentencing, you occupied a position of significant trust at one of the largest companies in the world. You exploited that trust systematically, recruiting others into your scheme, stealing nearly $10 million, and spending those stolen funds on a lifestyle you had not earned. When you were caught, you pleaded guilty. But the scope and duration of your crimes, and your role as the leader and mastermind of this conspiracy,
For 16
require a
months.
sentence that reflects the seriousness of what you did. He continued, The vendor payment system you exploited was built on trust.
Yup.
Amazon trusted its managers to verify vendors honestly.
Yup.
Your subordinates trusted you when you asked them to input information. The company trusted that its loss prevention employees were protecting it, not robbing it. You betrayed every one of those trusts, and you did it for Lamborghinis. Kyrika Wortham was sentenced to 192 months in federal prison, 16 years. She was ordered to pay $9,469,731.45 in restitution to Amazon. The court ordered forfeiture of $2.7 million in seized bank accounts, the $918,000 home in Smyrna, the Lamborghini Urus, the Tesla Model X, the Porsche Panamera, the Dodge Durango, and the Kawasaki motorcycle. Everything she had bought with Amazon's money was taken back. But Kyrika Wortham was not finished committing crimes. While out on bond awaiting sentencing, Wortham and Brittany Hudson decided to open a hookah lounge in Midtown Atlanta. They approached a franchising company called CRU about licensing the concept. CRU conducted due diligence and discovered the pending federal fraud charges. They asked Wortham and Hudson to explain. The two women lied. They claimed the charges had been dismissed. To support the lie, they emailed CRU a set of court documents that appeared to show the case had been thrown out. The documents bore the signature of Chief U.S. District Judge Timothy C. Batten, Sr. They included the seal of the clerk of court. They looked official. They were forgeries. Wortham and Hudson had fabricated federal court documents and forged the signature of the same judge who would ultimately sentence them. When CRU's lawyers verified the documents with the court and discovered they were fake, they reported the fraud to federal prosecutors. Wortham's bond was revoked. She was taken into custody immediately. Additional charges were filed for forging the signature of a federal judge and defrauding CRU. In October 2025, she pleaded guilty to the forgery charges. She is scheduled to be sentenced on those counts in March 2026. Brittany Hudson went to trial. In March 2026, a federal jury convicted her on all 30 counts. 2 counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, 17 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering, 9 counts of money laundering, and 1 count of forgery of the signature of a federal judge. She faces sentencing in June 2026. Demetrius Hines pleaded guilty and awaits sentencing. LaQuetia Blanchard pleaded guilty and awaits sentencing. Jaquan Frazier pleaded guilty to misprision of a felony. Jamar James Sr. was indicted, and his case remains pending. Daryl Burgo was charged with conspiracy, access device fraud, and aggravated identity theft. 7 people, $9.4 million, 19 months of theft. And at the center of it all, a woman who had been trusted with the keys to Amazon's payment system, and who used those keys to steal everything she could carry. Kyrika Wortham is currently incarcerated at the federal prison camp in Alderson, West Virginia, the oldest women's federal prison in the United States, known to some as Camp Cupcake. It is a minimum security facility with no barbed wire, no armed guards, and a campus that resembles a boarding school more than a prison. The inmates live in dormitories, not cells. They sleep in bunk beds in 2-person cubicles separated by cinder blocks. Previous inmates include Martha Stewart, who served 5 months there in 2004 and called it a horrible experience. Wortham will spend her days working, kitchen duty, groundskeeping, clerical work, for wages measured in cents
I was
per
born
hour.
in 2004.
She will have limited phone access, limited visitors, limited contact with the world she left behind. She will watch her 30s pass through a window. She will turn 40 in federal custody. Her parents will age. Her brother's children will grow up without knowing her. Wortham will not be eligible for release until 2036.
$9 million,
She will be 45 years
$9.4
old.
million.
The Lamborghini will be long gone.
Was it
The
19?
house will
I think it
belong
was
to
19
someone
months,
else.
Or 16 months.
The designer clothes will have been donated or sold. And the $9.4 million she stole will still be owed, every penny accruing interest. following her for the rest of her life.
Accruing interest? Yeah! Do your Dougie, Amazon. Getting
She had been
interest. Oh my gosh, how is that possible? I'll be honest, she's not paying that back in her lifetime. Her kids. You better not have no brothers, no sisters, no cousins. Oh my gosh.
She had been given the keys to a system built on good faith, and she had used those keys
Bro,
to
I'm
take
sitting here looking, bro. The video almost over. Bro, I could have sworn I seen a body cam footage. Dang. I thought I seen some body cam footage, bro. Man, I was all excited. This is just it's a good video though, bro. I was expecting more, man. I'm sitting here waiting the whole time through the video trying to see a body cam footage, man. Come on, man. I'm finna go watch me another body cam footage video, man. We're gonna keep playing it out,
everything
bro.
she could
I'm gonna do my
carry
intro while this thing playing
until
out,
the
though,
day
man.
she couldn't
'Cause he
carry
just talking, man.
anything anymore.
Man.
That was a $9.4 million
I
lesson in
appreciate
what
y'all,
happens
bro.
when trust meets
Rest in peace,
greed.
Lord. School to happy birthday.
But the case
you know
on your
what I mean?
screen right now,
What
the
up?
betrayal cuts even deeper. Click it